This video will be useful for any teacher wanting to learn how to navigate through the mock election process or to customize their options. When you first log in, you will see the home screen, which we refer to as the dashboard. You have your teacher profile here and your school profile located here. Should you need it, you also have your teacher code located at the top of the screen. You should click the option for mock election. At this point, you will be on the Getting Started tab. You have downloadable resources and instructions located at the base of the page. Click the National Election tab. From here, you would select the national election that you are a part of. For the purposes of this demonstration, we created one for you, titled Sample Mock Election. Now, if this is your first time logging in to this year's mock election, a pop-up box will appear giving you options. You should check which box or boxes apply. The first statement reads, "One or more of my students live in a different state." And the second statement reads, "I consent to share the results of my students' voting." And that would be if the state were to ask for it. The results for your class and school would not be made available to anyone else. After your selections are made, you can either click Continue to Preview, which will save your selections, or Not Now, which will give you the options to make the selection again next time you log in and get back to this specific point. The next screen you will see has the default races listed. If you are satisfied with the ballot as is, then no further action is needed to prepare your students for this year's mock election. However, you do have the option to customize your ballot. Your students will not see all of the House races that you see. During the voting process, your students will select the congressional district that they live in, and that results in the appropriate race on their ballot. The default elections can also be rearranged. For example, if you wanted to move the governor's race so that it's voted on first, you would just click and drag it to the place you want it, like so. If you would like to create an additional race, click the appropriate button at the bottom of the screen. Then give the election a name so it'll have a place in the ballots. We'll call this one Additional Race. Then click Save. Next, select the race from the list so you can add the candidates. We named it Additional Race. You get the message saying there are no candidates in this race yet, so click Add the first candidate. Be sure to fill in all the required fields. We'll name this candidate Sample Candidate 1, and we'll make them a part of the yellow party. Then click Save. Now Sample Candidate 1 needs someone to run against, and we'll name this person Sample Candidate 2. And Sample Candidate 2 will be a part of the orange party. Then click Save. Once you're satisfied with the candidates in this race, click Update. And just like the other races on the default ballot, you can move this race up and down should you want it to be voted on in a different order. You can even make it first. Now you are able to customize your ballot up until the first vote is cast. After that occurs, your ballot is locked. Now to create a referendum, click on the Referenda tab and create New Referendum. Give your referendum a title and type the question. We'll call this referendum Teacher Workdays. question will be, should failing students be required to attend mandatory study halls during teacher workdays? Click Save. Go back to the Referenda tab, and your referendum now appears on the list. Now, to delete a race, deleting a default race is simple. You would just click on this trash can icon as you mouse over the race that you want to delete. If you delete a default race, it moves from the default ballot column to the default races column. A deleted default race can be recovered at any time by just dragging the race and dropping it back into the appropriate place on the list. However, if you delete a created race, you will get a pop-up box notifying you there's no way to recover it. It asks you, are you sure you want to delete? Because this action cannot be undone. We'll click OK. And as you see, the race is now gone. Now once your ballot is set, you can click the sample mock election link above to be sure your ballot looks the way you want it to look for your students. If you have any questions about the mock election, please send an email to ylihelp@virginia.edu or call toll-free at 866-514-8389. Thank you for participating in the YLI National Mock Election.